I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this whole live tutorial recording. I really think it's important to give back to the community. There's no reason that that y'all shouldn't have this knowledge, especially for all the support that y'all give me. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna start right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Spicer here. In this video, we're going to go over some student critiques and we're going to show you what you can do to take your dioramas to the next level. All right, in this video, we're going to be looking over a former student of mine's work, his first diorama. It's a Rogue versus Sentinel, and he asked me to take a look at it and give my thoughts on it. Even though the semester was over quite a while ago, I'm still available to my students. I still try to help them out just because this journey is tough, this grind is long, and it's always nice to have someone there that's already taken those steps to just, support you while you keep going. And I've always found that valuable, and my former students always found that valuable. So if you want your work critiqued, you can join the ZBHO Discord down below. We have a special section just for critiques, so you can post your work there. And I might start off the stream critiquing your work and putting together a video like this. So definitely take advantage of that. It's totally free. The dojo is free. There's going to be a bunch of free assets coming for the dojo, for everyone in there. I just want to make sure everyone's at the same level. That way I can get better, y'all can get better, we can learn new things, and we can make a bigger impact. All right, with all that said, let's get into the video. So this is the first time seeing it. This is the way I like to do my reviews, just see it for the first time. Well, your anatomy has definitely taken a step forward. I'm glad you've definitely been practicing. Anatomy-wise, that wrinkle is way too far back. We have that's just not going to allow this wrinkle to go that far back. Also here, your biceps femoris should be going over and attaching to your tibialis, and your wrinkles going way too far forward. Okay, a little bit more hit on these, and your tibialis is straight up and down when it should be curved, which allows you to really hit this medial malleolus right here. Okay, I really like this this foot here. I would fix this heel, add a bit more detail, at least one more rim around here, a little bit more detail on it. It looks a little plain. Your fingers are all lined up, and to do that with your fist, you'd have to, you wouldn't be able to actually punch anybody. So whenever you curl your fist, it should cascade down, and then your pinky should appear to come out further than everything else. So if you just make a fist point at your face, you'll see this cascading down. Okay, and I'm a horrible 2D artist. Okay, but you get what I'm saying, right? Okay. And same with this one. Everything's just lined up. It should be cupped, right? It should be a cupped here. Okay, shouldn't all line up. It should cascade down from here. It's going to make a peak at the middle, and then it's going to come down. Okay, at the middle knuckle. Sorry. A little bit more character. Maybe if you put a sole in here, and I know shoe soles suck to make, but they really do. They're just those little finishing touches, right? I know you're still working on this, so, but yeah. This soleus right here is should bump right here. Just a little concerning because this is going to wrap around your the epicondyle or the femur right here. Should be kind of covered up by this vastus medialis. Another thing is that everything's lined up. Like we brought everything right here. So whenever I'm looking at it from the side, it's not as dynamic as it could be because she's straight. She's straight up and down instead of like a curved, twisting, and then bringing that right cross all the way, right? Something like that, where it's just a little bit more dramatic because even though you've turned her this way, like the body's still straight up and down. So a little bit more curve to it,
And remember in our class, we were talking about if you want to provide movement, then you need to move the rib cage away from the hips, right? And that will automatically give you movement. So make sure that it is moved off of center, right? So you just move this over here, move her torso that way. Also, just rotating her a little bit, maybe pivot it right here and then rotate it this way so her legs come out that way. Might be a little bit better, a little bit more interesting. And your feet are lined up pretty much too. I mean, if it's subtle, then it's pretty much lined up, right? So you'd have to, I would rotate this foot in a bit more for a little bit more action. Okay. Here, I think these hands should be switched. Or at least this should be a fist, and then this should be expressing something right here. But don't just, flail the hand out, because that's really not what's really interesting. I mean, it looks awkward more than it looks cool. Overall, this doesn't really. There's a pose happening and there's action happening, but I don't know why. Right, there might be a history behind these two people, which is fine, but we need to show that. We can't expect our audience to know that automatically. We need to provide that through our sculpture, okay? And we should also be using, if these two people are clashing, I'm assuming that these are two extremely strong characters, because anyone that can go up against Rogue is either a fool or at least equipped to give her a run for her money, right? So if we're doing that, we should probably carry that out. And, this is like an explosion of these two coming together, right? And creating this, I don't know, sonic boom or just a clash of some sort, and bring that here to where this is more of like an explosion than a set piece, right? Like, how long have they been fighting? Like, for right now, it looks like I just don't know what these two things are. Like, this is a column, and then this is I assume some machinery, but we need to bring these two things together. So, like, is this a nuclear reactor that they're fighting over or around? So we need some, like a circuit board or a control manual, and then, I don't know, a core or some, industrial piece, and then support it even further down here, because it's just a little bit too, this base right here is a little bit too, it's a little bit too perfect and too uniform for all the chaos that's supposedly going on. We need to support it all with that, right? So some smoke here, which is very, it's time consuming, but it's pretty easy to sculpt. Just look up stylized smoke, and that's really what you're sculpting. You're not sculpting real smoke, you're sculpting stylized smoke. And then the painter is going to take it the rest of the way, or you will take it the rest of the way with your rendering techniques. Okay, so I would add that, maybe something right here that they're fighting over. Is it a weapon? Is it a person? Is it a gem? Is it a stone? What is it here that these two are fighting over besides I don't like you, right? If I was going to do Batman versus the Joker, the easiest thing for me to do would be for me to have Batman punching or reaching for a switch that the Joker is holding away from Batman and about to click, right? And then somewhere on the piece there's going to be dynamite with a timer or a receiver of some sort, right? So now we know what's going on, what the consequence is. If one person doesn't
do what they're supposed to do, then they're going to die, or they're going to lose something that they love, or someone that they love, or they're going to not save the world or something like that, right? That's what we need to be thinking about whenever we're presenting our work. We need to have a story, a structure. We need to be within that story. We can't rely on people's knowledge of these characters. Okay, so in terms of your anatomy, it's way better than it was when you first came into class. You just keep going, keep doing all that, keep going. What I would do before you do anything, I would sketch it out on paper, because it's way easier to fail on paper than it is in ZBrush. Okay, way easier. Anyone that's here right now, if you are a ZBrush user or a Blender user or whatever user, and you want to make characters for collectibles or to create concepts or anything like that, imagine sketching some stick figures in a decent environment, and a certain, whatever it is that they're fighting over, right? And you sketch that, and you can sketch that thing way many more times than you could in ZBrush, with way more fidelity and detail than you ever could in ZBrush, right? So it's just smart and economic to have that type of strategy, right? Where you're sketching it out in paper, you're sketching it out in Photoshop or whatever it is, and then after you have drama, after you have movement, after you have consequence, then you go to ZBrush. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that critique. I think those points are really going to help. Make sure that your stuff isn't lining up straight up and down whenever you look at it. It has to look good when you turn it all the way around. If it doesn't, especially for a diorama, then there's just too many weak points. There needs to be money shots all around your sculpt. Even if it is just one person with a base, it needs to look good from all angles. So make sure to use silhouetting. Make sure to draw it out first. Don't go straight into 3D. You may think that your 2D skills really aren't that great, but if you've been sculpting even for a few years, your mind does know the basic forms of these of the muscle groups, and you do know perspective more than you think you do. If you're having trouble, just imagine that that it's in ZBrush. Close your eyes, whatever you need to do, and just imagine that it's coming at you, and just practice. These aren't things that you're going to show other people and display in front of hundreds of thousands of people. These are sketches just for you to communicate with yourself about what you're about to accomplish, right? So definitely use 2D before going into 3D. Make sure you have movement, make sure you have action, make sure you have emotion, make sure you're evoking emotion from the viewer, and make sure you have consequence. Make sure there's a story within your sculpt. It's not just someone trying to pose and look cool. You're telling a story. You're imagine yourself more as a director than just a sculptor. Okay, so hopefully these points are helping you out. Hopefully these videos are helping you out. If they are, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you're interested in learning more, you can watch my Twitch streams on Saturday. I try to do a lecture every Saturday on human anatomy, on collectible sculpting, on pretty much anything that you vote for in the community. By the time this video is out, I'll have a new poll for what you want a tutorial about next, and I'll just record that on the next Saturday. This coming Saturday on Twitch, Shotgun Scream, you can find the link down below. We're going to be going over the pecs. So I'm just hitting all the hero muscles first, and hopefully that'll help everyone out and kind of clarify things and bring everything together. If you want any further instruction, you can go to my ArtStation. I have 5-star review tutorials. I have a bundle, and if you want one-on-one instruction, I offer that at xmdacademy.com. They are sponsoring this video, and they are sponsoring every coupon that we do. So thank you, XMD. thank you for being here in the dojo. Thank you for joining me on the streams. Again, please submit your work. I would love to critique it. I would love to start off every stream helping you out in the dojo. So keep kicking ass, keep taking names, and don't forget to save.